Oh, didn't realize I was on the air. Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. Today what I want to talk about is 7 mistakes to avoid. Are you ready? Okay, sorry. Alright, hey guys, listen, I just want to talk to you about 7 mistakes to avoid when buying a house. This is for anybody in America, so you have to excuse my tonality today. I'm a little in a funky mood, but just thought I'd make it a little bit fun. So I made this video so we can help avoid any kind of mistakes during the home buying process. It's because I care about you and I want you to make the best decision when buying a house. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell on the side there. That way you'll be notified anytime I post a brand new video. I won't be posting videos every day. I'll only be posting videos at the same time you're thinking about maybe buying a house, which may be once in a while or here and there. But once you're ready to make that decision to buy, you'll get notified. I'll send you a message, a video, you can research me, and then you'll say, wow, perfect timing. All right, so let's get started. The first mistake out of 7 that people can make: purchasing a home before applying for a mortgage. You don't want to start looking for houses or viewing homes, because if you do, you might get into trouble. As if you drive by an open house sign and decide, let me go in there and take a look and fall in love with it and find out that it's way out of your price range after you've done the homework, pre-approved yourself, then it might be more house than you can actually afford. So just be very careful not to put the cart before the horse and start house hunting before you have all your ducks in a row. So you definitely want to speak to a lender so you know how much your monthly mortgage payment will be and also which mortgage is best for you. There's all different types of mortgages that determine how much of a down payment you'll make. So it's imperative that you pick one and you stay with it, and then now you'll start to know how much you can afford to buy. I recommend applying for a mortgage or getting a pre-approval at least 1 year before you even step foot in a house, because there's so many things that are gonna come up that you're gonna be like, ugh, thank God I did this last year, because I can't imagine doing this kind of work now and I could be possibly closing in the next 90 days. Trust me when I tell you, home buyers, you want to get a pre-approved or talk to a lender at least 1 year before you decide to buy the house. When you do that, you're also going to look at your credit report. That allows you to fix any issues that you see in your credit report, and then also will help you say, okay, well, I don't really see any houses that I want in my price range. Now I know how much I can afford. Let me see what I can do to either boost up my credit scores, make more income, or put more money aside. Therefore, next year or the year after, when I am ready to buy, I'll have everything I need because I've done all my homework in advance to buy the house and live comfortably. Second mistake to avoid: interviewing only one mortgage lender. Mortgage lenders play a humongous role during the whole entire real estate transaction. It is so important that you find the lender that's right for you. They're going to be there every step of the way, just like your realtor that you select to buy your house. Compare different lenders. Sometimes they can get you better interest rates, recommend different mortgages for you. They look out more for your best interests, plus they'll find the lowest rates and fees for you to pay out of pocket in the end at closing. And that's really what you want, to pay minimal fees, closing costs, all of those things, so you can move into your new home with the most money in your pocket. And sometimes, yes, that's hard to do, especially when you're a first-time home buyer, but that's why selecting a good lender for you is extremely important, because not only are they going to be there before you even house hunt, they're going to be there with you throughout the whole entire real estate transaction. The third mistake to avoid when buying a house is buying too fast. That's right, you heard me say you don't want to buy a house too fast because you don't want any regrets later. Now, I do have to say, on average, first-time home buyers usually buy their first house and within 7 to 10 years, they decide to buy another house. That's fine. Now, the more and more people you talk to, they will actually tell you that the first house they bought, they lasted in there for about a year to a year and a half. A lot of things could have happened. It could be because they outgrew the house, they didn't have these awesome YouTube videos that I'm providing to you, so they had no idea. Okay, I'm tooting my horn a little bit. There could be a reason where they just made more money, so now they could afford bigger housing. Or it could be the opposite. Maybe somebody lost their job or something and they had to downgrade or go back to renting. Don't buy a house too fast. If you do, you don't want to have to sell it so quickly because it's kind of like a pain in the butt every time you move into a house. You gotta unpack, then you gotta pack again. You gotta move and pay. There's the whole cost of moving. Buy right. Buy smart. You'll have the patience to kind of not buy so fast and you'll have more of a selection. First time home buyers especially, let me tell you something, you are gonna be so excited once you've already done step 1 and 2. So now you're like ready to buy. And the first house you're gonna see, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is so much better than the place I'm living in. This is the house that I want. And you're gonna talk to the realtor and be like, oh my God, let's make an offer. I can't wait to make an offer. Let's do it, please, please, please. Calm the heck down. This is the first house we've seen. Let me show you a picture of the house you're living in right now. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the outside of it. Okay? This, yes, is like the Taj Mahal. But keep in mind, it's also the first house we've seen. Your realtor is going to show you more houses, hopefully that day or weekend or night. But you need to schedule multiple showings so you know what's out there in inventory. In 2019, yes, there's not a whole lot to choose from, but try and see as many homes as you possibly can because I can almost guarantee that the house you're living in now is not nearly going to be as nice as the house you're going to be moving into. Don't buy too fast, but keep in mind that it's a seller's market, which means that there's more buyers than sellers out there. So sellers are gonna raise the prices up high because they know there's so many buyers and there's few competition, so I have the nicest house on the blocks. I'm going to make you pay full price for it. Just be careful. Now, you don't want to lose on making an offer on a house that you love. Yes, you want to act quickly, but you've already done number 1 and 2. So now you're ready to buy the house that you want after you've already seen what's out there. The 4th mistake to avoid is emptying your savings account. When you buy a house, we have to remind ourselves, and I will tell you the same thing over and over and over again. It's my job to do that. It's kind of to annoy the heck out of you without making you feel like I am your parents. But I'm looking out for you. So in case I haven't told you 5 times, I'm gonna tell you the 6th time and say, don't deplete your savings account. Keep in mind the following things when buying a house. And once you've planned correctly, you will have thousands of dollars in your savings account for down payment, home inspection, appraisal, closing costs, movers, miscellaneous fees. Make sure that you have money left over. That's really important. In other words, you don't want to buy a house and be house poor or broke, because what if something happens? And you know me, in all the videos, I always say, have a reserve, keep money in your nest egg. Don't be house poor or broke in case you ever want to go out and have a life outside your home. That's why talking to a mortgage lender is one of the first steps, because they will help you determine how much you can afford to buy. They will also explain all the different mortgage types and how much money you have to put down. Sometimes if you get a USDA loan, and it all depends on where you live, you can put 0%. A conventional, you can do as low as like 3% all the way to 20% and more. First time home buyers, you can do even a FHA loan, which is 3.5%. Talk to the mortgage lender and find out, what do you feel most comfortable with? What kind of mortgage would you want to buy based on how much you have to put down? So if you don't want to put 20% down, but yet you don't want to put as little as 3% down, maybe put down 12 or 15%. So they will go ahead and help you pick how much money you think you should put down so you can afford a nice mortgage payment and also still have your nest egg. 5th mistake to avoid is, let's open up some credit cards. Let's close some accounts. No, 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 no. You do not want to do that. Once you've been pre-qualified or pre-approved for a mortgage, you don't want to change so much of your credit score. You don't want to add more debt to your income. The last thing you want to do is start swiping your credit cards a few weeks prior to closing and now jeopardize your closing date, because now all of a sudden the underwriters are going to be like, why did all this stuff change? Now I have to look at everything more carefully, and everything else just creates a little bit of habit. I recommend, and I'm not the only one, I'm sure every lender and everybody will tell you the same thing. If they don't, they're lying. Don't buy expensive items. Don't close any credit card accounts. Don't apply for any loans while you're buying a house. Make sure you close first, and then you can go ahead and start shopping for items in your new home. Number 6, quit your job. Yeah, no. Do not change jobs, do not quit jobs, do not find another job. Just wait until you close on the house. Changing jobs could jeopardize your chances of closing on time because now the bank is feeling at a higher risk loaning your money. When you are pre-approved for the first time, chances are you are working, making consistent income, and were there for X amount of years. Changing jobs right before closing is a red flag. Don't do that. Just wait it out, because as a bank, do I really want to loan you money if a job you just quit and started doesn't pan out for you? What happens if you can't afford the mortgage payments now? Then as the bank, I own that house, and I don't want to be owning a house. I want you to pay me the money. Okay. That's the truth. Number 7, overpay for the house you're buying. A lot of homes are priced really high, and that's because it's a seller's market when there's more buyers than sellers. When buying a house, we compare that house to others that have sold in the area. That's generally how you know if it's too much. And a good example of that is if you find a pair of shoes you must own and you absolutely love, and you look at the shoes and it's $180 for those shoes. I mean, I love them, but I don't know if I love them that much. Now I'm ready to price shop and see what other shoes I can find that are exactly the same or very similar. So now you start to search and look around and say, oh wow, okay, these shoes are just as good, I love them just as much, and they're only $85. Do that when you're house hunting. Extremely important. That's what I was saying in the previous step. You don't want to buy a house too fast, but then you don't want to wait so long just in case somebody else makes a faster offer. It's really important to go ahead and price shop while there's still inventory on the market, and then go ahead and make the best offer for that price. It's a seller's market. All the prices are at its highest it's ever been. There's very few sellers, so they can get away with that. If you are a first-time home buyer, you're valuable. If I'm a seller and I'm selling my house to you and I hear that I have a first-time home buyer interested in my house and they're pre-qualified to afford the house that I'm selling, I mean, as a seller, I'm happy. Why? Because chances are you may not have a home that you need to sell. So there's less contingencies. The only contingency I could, as a seller, could see is home inspection, appraisal, financing. But that's usually what's going to happen with first-time home buyers. Where somebody else that might make an offer for the same price, maybe it's contingent upon them selling their house. If it's between them and you, and you're both qualified buyers, I might take your offer over them because you're a first-time home buyer. As your realtor, first-time home buyers, you get all your ducks in a row, you do all the prep work in the beginning, I can assure you, you will have the house that you want, and hopefully you'll live in there for as long as you want without losing anything. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Again, hit the little bell so you'll be notified the next time I put a video up, which will be plenty more. And let me ask you a question. What is something that you wish you would have known before you bought a house or while you're renting? All right, well, on that note, I will see you at the next video.